Chapter 20. As Yvonne Perrin climbed the stairs to Rory Edwards' penthouse, she could not shake the ominous feeling of dreadful fear that dampened her day. It was a beautiful day in Atlanta, Georgia. Fair, too, partly cloudy, with temperatures in the low 80s. Dropping to 60 around midnight, it was the type of day Yvonne usually found to make her feel like a child again. But it was not to be that way today. As cruel fate would have it, Rory's penthouse was on Peachtree Street in Atlanta, Georgia. Rory often wondered how he would afford it, secretly afraid that his job might not be as secure as he was led to believe. Just the other day, Mr. Ricketts, his boss, had called him on the carpet and read him the riot act over the problem with the Zimmerman telegram. This made him feel bad. But Rory never told anyone this, so Yvonne had not known of his fears. But he appreciated her visits, and today Yvonne was bringing him a box of doughnuts, wrapped in bright red plastic wraps that reminded her of the day she boiled the eggs, even though she knew Rory wouldn't be there to appreciate it. Rory's door was open when Yvonne Perrin got to the top of the stairs that were unusual. It was a large wooden door, usually painted white, that Rory bought at an estate sale in Milledgeville, Georgia, the capital of the state before the Civil War, and General William Tecumseh Sherman's famous march through Georgia during the Civil War burned the city to the ground. Both cities, actually. The door, had 3 hinges and a doorknob, as well as a door knocker in the shape of a horseshoe that didn't work. It was a real find, and Rory often regretted the fact he had never gotten it properly appraised by a licensed appraiser. It was one of Rory's biggest regrets, eating at him like a monster, devouring his soul and spitting out the remnants of his shoes in little bits of leather and oil. Yvonne went inside Rory Edwards' penthouse. It was decorated with yellow walls, with an 8-X10 color glossy photos of Rory's pet dog Barky on one of the walls. The dog was a champion show dog, winners of many gold medals.
This is a fucking show dog with fucking papers.
But had to be put down after. Rory had never gotten over it, sobbing uncontrollably whenever he ate at Burger King.
I gotta talk about a fucking dog dying.
The picture window faced east, overlooking the river, a thin blue ribbon in the distance. Yvonne and Rory loved to hold their hands and watch the sun setting, especially in winter, when the average high temperature was only 53 degrees. There was a smell in the air that Yvonne couldn't identify. Callie Archer suddenly entered. She was wearing only a bathrobe, naked underneath. Yvonne was shocked and startled. What was Callie doing here? Callie was wondering the same thing.
"What are you doing here?"
she demanded. Callie didn't know what was going on.
"I had not expected you today, Yvonne,"
she commented cattily.
"Never mind that,"
Yvonne exclaimed.
"Where's your husband, Bruce?"
Well, you know, Callie cried hesitantly, her long, glossy black hair hanging in front of her face. She hated when that happened and slid it aside. Yvonne was confused. This was impossible.
"Would you like some donuts?"
she offered, holding the bag.
"Do you have any chocolate?"
Callie asked.
"I think they were out,"
stated Yvonne bitterly, opening the box. There were a dozen, 3 jelly, 4 glaze, 2 strawberries frosted, 3 peanut butter, and Yvonne's favorite, a coconut glazed.
I don't care.
"Would you like a cream-filled?"
Callie pounded the table. "Damn!" she cursed. "Why does everything happen to me?" she exclaimed. She dropped her robe on the floor. "I never get a break," she hissed. Yvonne felt really badly. She'd known Callie for years, since the summer of '91, when a cloud the shape of a ball of dust opened the sky to the heavens and turned their life into one big fun time. It was late in the evening, and Callie was wearing a bright green skirt and matching red top with pink lace at the neck and sleeves. Ugh. It had a slight paisley pattern that caught the sun. It was before Bruce's accident. Though he would never say so, Rory Edwards thought she was the most beautiful woman he'd seen. He often wished that Callie wasn't married or that Bruce was dead or something. The night was magical, and the band played disco into the night.
Are you doing something with Rory?
She asked, deciding to take the bull by the horns and get to the root of the situation and let the chips fall where they may.
I refuse to answer that,
Callie said pig-headedly.
I don't have to answer that.
This was a fine howdy-do.
Here's howdy-do.
After all we've done together, you all won't tell me what you're doing.
She cried loudly.
Oh, for crying out loud, Yvonne!
Callie shouted back like a bellowing mule.
What do you think? What does it look like? Is Rory here?
Yvonne sobbed.
He left.
Callie informed her. She went to the refrigerator and opened a can of Diet Pepsi.
He couldn't perform.
Yes, agreed Yvonne.
He often had that problem. What?
Callie blurted. This was a big surprise. What in the world was Callie thinking? Rory was always afraid this could happen. Despite his macho exterior, he was a bundle of fears inside, and writhing masses of phobias that made him tremble in nervousness. If he knew what the two girls were saying about him right now, his ears would probably burn red hot. Or hotter. Callie sat on the red leather couch that Rory had picked up on sale in Sears at the Peachtree Mall.
I don't care!
She suddenly felt like a fool. How could she not have guessed? The signs were all there, the skim milk instead of 2%, the sudden change in Rory's manner, the time he spent working at the office.
Pepsi?
Offered Yvonne, sensing her pain and offering her can. She had had her share of bad love affairs, like that handsome doctor with the office on Peachtree Street, who dumped her when she had hinted that she wanted more from the relationship than donuts. Suddenly, the box of donuts depressed her. She wanted to drown in their rich, creamy taste, become forgotten in their sweet crunch that reminded her of the death of Archie. It was even worse with the way it left her. Callie took the peace offering gratefully.
I'm not a bad person,
she pointed out, drawing her robe around her.
I'm just drawn that way.
I'm just cursed.
Suddenly there was someone at the door. Callie could tell by the sound of the corduroys that it was her husband, Bruce.
Corduroy? All those different trousers and you chose corduroy? Well, no, it's fine if you don't mind zip-zopping about town. Zip-zop, zip-zop, zip-zop.
What a predicament. If Bruce found out about this, it's being all over.
What should we do?
Fretted Callie, her eyes beseeching her longtime friend. It was a scary situation. Callie didn't want Bruce to know, but after the accident, he had become different.
Yvonne, but I need your help,
she begged. Yvonne felt sorry for her friend Callie, who had such beautiful glossy black hair. Rory, called Bruce, lisping slightly, have you seen my hard drive? I'm a software developer, you know.
We need to do something,
Callie whispered.
Bruce doesn't know about Rory.
It was scary. If Bruce found out, there was no telling what he might do. He was insanely jealous, given to furious rages at the drop of a hat.
You're lying. I never hit you.
What should we do?
Callie asked.
We need to do something.
Yvonne thought about it. They needed to do something. But what could they do? Bruce hadn't been the same since the accident. It was all so hopeless. Yvonne should have known better than to bring the donuts. Bruce was sure to blame her. Suddenly, she had an idea.
Go into the bedroom,
she urged Callie.
I have an idea. And I would really well.
Asked Callie. She had ideas of her own. Dreams of beautiful winter nights in Tallahassee, Georgia, watching the ships come in from the sea, with a handsome man by her side, his strong many arms, mannishly comforting her with his male strength. She dreamed that idea many nights, but when she woke up, the arms were gone, and she was in a stone-cold bed with no joy except for her tropical fish. Dead all these many years.
I should go into the bedroom.
Callie opined. She picked the robe off the floor and did so. This had better work, Yvonne muttered as she opened the door that could mean a matter of life or death.
Georgia on my mind.
And I'm giving 20-1 odds that we will never hear from this subplot ever again and never know what happened. Thanks to all of my Patreon supporters, particularly Break System BSE, Michael Maris. If you want to see your name up here, head over to my Patreon. It's as little as $1 a month. And no matter what, please like, comment, subscribe.